Let me show you how to solve this kind of math question on the board. We are given 1 over 3 raised to the power of x plus 3 raised to the power of x plus another 3 raised to the power of x equal to 81. And we are expected to find the value of x. If you want to solve this question, the first thing you need to do is to combine these three so that they will become 1. That's the first thing we need to do. Now the question is, how do we now combine these three to become 1? It's very simple. Let me show you. This is the solution. Write down this one, which is 1, then over 3 raised to the power of x plus 3 raised to the power of x plus another 3 raised to the power of x. If you look at this, you notice that they are exactly the same. We have 3 raised to the power of x here, we have 3 raised to the power of x here, and we have another 3 raised to the power of x. They're exactly the same, and they are being added. Now, because they are exactly the same and they are being added, it is the same thing as just writing, because we have 1, 2, 3, we can simply multiply one of them by 3. Supposedly we have 2 of them, we can multiply one of them by 2. But because we have 1, 2, 3 that are being added and they are exactly the same, we can multiply one of them by 3. You understand? So we can say 3 times, this dot means multiplication. 3 times one of them, which is 3 raised to the power of x, equal to 81. Now the next thing to do, we can apply law of indices here if we like. If you don't want to do it like that, there's no problem. We can, because this is a fraction, we can also make this one to be a fraction by putting over 1. Now that you have a fraction equal to another fraction, we can simply cross multiply. We use this to multiply this. Now, 3 times 3 raised to the power of x times this 81. That will give us 243. 3 times 81 actually will give us 243. Then you put times this 3 raised to the power of x equal to 1 times 1 will give us 1. I know this place is a little bit confusing. Let me re-explain what I did here. We are multiplying this by this. You understand? So this 3 here will multiply this 81 and that will give us this. And then we put this times this 3 raised to the power of x, which is what we have here. You understand? Then equal to 1 times 1 will give us 1. Now the next thing to do is to get rid of this 243 by dividing both sides by this 243. So we're going to divide both sides by 243. This 243 will cancel this 243. And we are left with 3 raised to the power of x equal to 1 over 243. The next thing to do is to write this 243 in exponential form such that it will be in base 3. Question is, how do we do that? It's very simple. Let's write down this one back. We have 3 raised to the power of x equal to 1 over. Now 243 is the same thing as 3 raised to the power of 5. Because 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 into 5 places will give us this 243. So in place of this, we are going to write 3 raised to the power of 5. You understand? Now we are going to apply a particular law of indices here called negative power law. And what does that law state? That law says that anytime you have a fraction like this, 1 over any number that is raised to a power, what you have to do is just rewrite the number exactly the way it is. But what you have to do is just put negative sign for the power. You understand? Let me re-explain that, please. Let me re-explain it so that you understand better. Let's write down this one. 3 raised to the power of x equal to. Now, because we have 1 over this, just write down this number. 3 raised to the power of 5. After you have written down the 3 raised to the power of 5, because of this 1 over, just put negative sign for the power. And this will give us 3 raised to the power of negative 5. You understand? This is in accordance with law of indices. Now, if you look at this, you notice that the bases are the same. Because they are the same, they will cancel. This one will cancel this, and we are left with x equal to negative 5. And this is the answer to this question.